Добар ден, почитувани, добро дојдовте во новото издание на неделното интервју на Радио Слободна Европа. Гостин оваа недела е евроамбасадорот Аиво Орав. Ambassador Commissioner Stefan Füle and Director Stefano Stanino gave no statements after their visit to Skopje. Why the secrecy, especially having in mind that this creates room for media speculation?
You are right that not enough information was given out before the visit, but this was exactly to avoid the speculations before the visit. So why they came here? As you know well, European Council, it means the member states, instructed Commission to prepare the mid-spring report, and Commissioner came here to explain for the political leaders importance of this mid-spring report and also importance of overcoming this political crisis at the moment.
Ambassador, representatives of the diplomatic corps have stated that the political crisis in Macedonia has a negative effect on the European integration of the country. In an apparent lack of dialogue, can Macedonia progress in the Euro-integrative process?
I can very much agree that yes, clearly here are political difficulties in the country in this moment. And in this case, it's very complicated or difficult to see how it's possible to address those issues which are important for this mid-spring report, namely high-level accession dialogue reforms, then steps towards good neighborly relations, and then steps towards settlement of the name issue. Political dialogue in this regard is very important, and here I cannot agree with you because there is political dialogue. Leaders are meeting with each other, they are talking with each other, and here I have to highlight exactly the role of the president because he has convened several meetings between the political leaders. So dialogue is there. Unfortunately, this dialogue hasn't brought any results yet, so that I hope very much that this dialogue will continue and results will be there soon.
So what if the current model with discussions with the president is not working? Is a new model in order?
No, I think this is a good model, and if there is something to discuss, if there are some flexibility on both parties' side, then it's possible to move forward.
How does the European Union view the democratic capacity of the Macedonian authorities after the incident?
I think democratic capacity is still here. The problem is that there are political difficulties at the moment and country is preparing for local elections. And if political parties or citizens are focusing on those two issues, then perhaps there is not enough time to focus on the European Union agenda. However, I have stressed it also in some other interviews already. This is a very historic moment. We are writing history every day in our life. Some chapters are more visible, some chapters are less visible, but this chapter, what political parties, citizens of the country are writing today, this is a very important one. And I hope very much that this chapter, when it will be read in the future, will be a positive one.
It doesn't seem that way right now. It's not very flattering with an incident in the place where democracy is supposed to be set as an example. And there's been security leashed upon not only the journalists, but also the MPs. How do you comment on all that?
Again, I mean, the difficulties are there, but now the government, opposition, the citizens, they have to deal with it, the results. Because I think it's not very constructive to state every day their positions that we are right or we are right, but somehow the country has to move forward.
Any recommendations?
Again, I mentioned this political dialogue. First, political leaders have to come together. They have to talk with each other, and then they have to find out how to move forward. And there was one example what was given, or one idea what was given by the president already to organize this commission of inquiry, and I think this is a very good proposal because, yes, we have seen the TV images of 24th of December, and those TV images were not very encouraging ones. At the same time, we see TV images every day. I was watching TV also yesterday, Euronews. There were a lot of problematic things. This is one thing what we see in TV, but if there is a problem like that, then it's important to verify all the facts and to clarify what happened what kind of rules and procedures were violated, what happened behind the scenes, what happened before, what happened after. We don't see everything in TV. And in this regard, this commission of inquiry could be very good to verify the facts and to prevent that situations like that will be repeated in the future.
Ambassador, can you think of any other European Union country that has faced a similar incident where MPs and journalists were removed by security in the assembly?
I think more or less I replied to this question already, because we can see in TV many things and many disturbing elements. Again, I mean, one thing what we see in TV, we have to clarify what really happened and what was before and after.
What kind of an effect is this political crisis having on the high-level accession dialogue?
Settlement of those political difficulties takes time and energy, so that all parties involved, they have to deal with those issues, and it turns the attention away from the reform process, or at least there is a risk that it may happen like that. When Commissioner Füle was here in September, he stated that around 70% of high-level accession dialogue reforms are partially or fully implemented. It means that there are still some reforms which have to be implemented now, and there is not much time for it. Hope very much that government and all other stakeholders have time to deal with those reforms and finalize them before the spring report will be ready.
If you could single out several of these important tasks, what would they be?
There are several issues, just to mention the media law, publishing of the Offer Framework Agreement, stock-taking report, and many other issues what were fixed a year ago when Commissioner came here first time, and the agreement was found between the government and Commission what has to be done.
Macedonia has fallen 16 positions on the scale for media freedom. What can be said about this clearly deteriorating situation?
Yes, in the European Union delegation we have noted this drop in the index. Media freedom is one of the key pillars of democracy, and the European Union is following free media everywhere in the world, not only here. But we, as a European Union delegation here in Skopje, we are following it very much here in this country. European Union is following the issue, and this is very important for us. This is the reason also why so many media issues are in the targets of the high-level accession dialogue.
You mentioned that you're following the situation. Can you single out a couple of issues that are contributing to the deterioration of media freedom in Macedonia?
This is quite a difficult question, because again, there are the indexes, and our assessment may be a bit different than those indexes are. However, the signals are coming in, and we are following very closely what is happening. We are in close contact with people in the government who are responsible for media issues, and of course we are in very close contact with Journalist Association, with other NGOs, with opposition, for whom media freedom is sometimes even more important.
The opposition has revoked its unconditional support for any agreed-upon solution to the name issue with neighboring Greece. Can this be a potential barrier to the beginning of the accession negotiations with the European Union?
Always when I get the question about the name issue, I have to say that I have very wide mandate, but this is one issue what is not in my mandate. Name talks are going on in the United Nations. There is little difference this year because the member states, through the European Council, instructed the European Commission to observe also what is happening with the name talks, particularly preparing this spring report. We have witnessed in last weeks dynamics, what is very good. I think personally that opportunity is there, and I hope very much that all the parties concerned will seize this opportunity what is there at the moment.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Тоа се за ова издание на неделното интервју на Радио Слободна Европа, следната средба за 7 дена.